Well, she's a powerhouse when it comes to fashion and a beloved TV presenter. But most importantly, if you're going to the races, you're definitely going to meet Marietta Doran. Hello!
Hello, Lisa.
Welcome to my humble abode.
Oh my goodness, there's nothing humble about it. It's so fabulous.
I know, Stella's
it's a very
gone.
special place, isn't it?
I know, it's lovely and obviously
Yeah.
so filmic and so cinematic. And when I was thinking of you and the races, it's like we just need to put some horses up here and I think you'll feel at home.
I should have brought some hats with me as well.
Yes. I feel very underdressed. Although I am wearing a nice little
Do you know what? You
label.
look very, very nice. It's
Thank
a beautiful outfit and you're looking great.
Thank you. You
Yeah.
too.
Thank you so much.
We've met so many times over the years. I mean, your career spans 20 years and then that's making me feel like mine's the same. Like, what have we been doing the last 20 years? We've been working, we've been busy and you've been
busy.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Let's go back to Off the Rails because people are at home are going to go, really? Caroline Moran and of course Pamela Flood is where it
They
all
were
began.
great times.
Yeah, I know.
Great times. I loved every moment of working on that show. It was a dream. It literally was a dream. And like I did makeovers, I met the most amazing people. And it really was my launch pad.
It was.
Into the Irish television industry. It was so nice. And you see, I'd always wanted to be on television.
Did you really?
Yeah, I always
That's what
wanted to be on television.
That's what people always want to know. When did you decide you wanted to be on television? But must have been years in the making
Lisa,
or not?
There's 7 in my family. Mum, dad, and I have 3 brothers, 3 sisters.
Yeah.
And if you ask any of my family members, when I was a child, I used to literally, little one, even smaller.
Knee-high to a
I used to
grasshopper.
stand in front of the TV and I'd get the hairbrush and I'd go and tell a story because I am a big storyteller. And they'd all go, sit down. So I knew I wanted to be on television. I just love the connection and I just love that whole medium, but I love radio as well. So it had always been a dream of mine. And then, I did, when my first real job was with Aer Lingus.
That's right.
I decided, you know what, I'm not going to give up on my dream of television. I was from Carlow and, I was up in Dublin and I just thought, I'll give this a try. So there was a course out in RTE and it was by Bill Keating, a very famous director with
right,
RTE.
yeah.
He was giving the course. And I remember at the time, and I think it was about £350, which is a lot of money. You're talking about 30 years ago. Yeah. So myself and my sister Paula.
A friend of mine did it, yes. I remember her telling me about
we
it.
signed ourselves up, but I had not let on to my sister that I actually hadn't the full amount of money. So I still had to actually earn it. So I had half it. So I said to Bill after the first day, I said, listen, I have to be quite honest. I don't have the full amount, but I am working full time. And can I pay you in installments? He said, absolutely, Marietta. And that's how we did it. It was wonderful. And when I did that really made me feel like, yes, this is where I belong. But he actually said to me at the end of the course, he said to me, he said, you're good and whatever, you look nice and all of that. He said, but you know what? You need something to talk about.
Aha. You need an angle, as they say in media.
And I was thinking, and I thought fashion. He said, find something that you're interested in.
True. It's so true.
That's what I did. Fashion, I thought, okay, let's talk about fashion.
You need to be an expert in something, rather than a jack of all trades of nothing. And, like that with fashion, you kind of edged your way in, obviously, with the girls, Pamela and Caroline, because that show in itself, I know you're doing RTE now with More and Die, but in Cork, we'll talk about that in a sec. But, honestly, it was the show of its day. I mean, I used to sit down with my mum, cup of tea, Off the Rails was on. It was like, what are we going to cherry pick today?
Yeah.
What's on there for the taking?
You did not miss that. It was on at 8:30 every Wednesday night, prime time. And it was the biggest show at the time, biggest fashion show. Everybody watched it.
Yeah.
It was nearly like the Late Late Toy Show.
Yeah.
You just sat home and you watched it and you learned from it. And to be part of that was just huge. And the 2 girls, I have to say, Pamela and Caroline, would you meet 2 nicer girls? They were just a pleasure to work with.
They're
and I
great.
still keep in contact with them and they're just lovely. And the whole team was lovely. It was hard work, but everything's hard work.
Everything is hard work, of
everything.
course.
You're not, when you're working in our industries, TV, fashion, you're working hard. There's a lot of hard work behind the scenes. And this is where I come in because I'm a grafter. I was reared on a farm. So all I know is hard work,
Yeah.
And even if I won the lottery in the morning, I would still work. I love work.
Now, speaking of work, because obviously we have so much to talk about in our half an hour here.
My full stop is my best friend, by the way.
Yeah, that she was told that, and whoever producer told her that is dead right. No, of course, love hearing everything. And the thing is, with the 30 minutes that we've got, I'm desperate to know about your Aer Lingus days because, you know, when you think about it, everybody has a backstory. You know, not everybody just went out of college and started in the industry that they're in. I did, but that'd be a little bit unusual. A lot of people maybe have started out doing something else, now a gear change, and went, actually, that's what I want to do. So prior to Bill Keating's course, you were flying in the airs, as they say.
Was in college. I went to the College of Marketing and Design in Mountjoy Square. My friend's family had an apartment in Dublin, just behind Dublin Castle, Little Ship Street. And myself and my best friend, she was in Colbrew Street, hi Vonnie, and we'd walk to college together. So I'd drop her off at Colbrew Street and I'd head on up then to Mountjoy Square. Yeah. And I did retail clothing. So that was my first in college. So there was fashion involved. And there was window dressing and all of that. And I applied for Aer Lingus. My sister had just qualified out of college, and because there was 7 of us, I was always really conscious that, I always like to look after myself and not be costing anyone anything. So Aer Lingus were recruiting. So my sister and I, we devised this plan. We said we would apply, or I would apply, but I hate signing forms, by the way. But anyway, so my sister Paula helped me. I always call her the really brainy one because she's really good at maths and everything. So anyway, so we applied. I couldn't believe I went to the screening in the Grand Hotel in Malahide. It was a Saturday morning. There was hundreds there. I'd say maybe there was a couple of thousand. I'd say there was a couple of thousand there. I went to the screening and there was like loads of Aer Lingus workers, all these ladies and gents looking gorgeous in their Aer Lingus uniforms, sat down for a 10-minute chat. And you know what that's like with me. I mean, it's a documentary. It's not a soundbite.
It's a podcast in itself.
It's a podcast in itself. And the lady said to me, I can still see her. She was a lovely person. She was a cabin crew with Aer Lingus. And she said, Marietta, would you be available to come out to the airport tomorrow morning? This being Sunday morning. I was like, oh, absolutely, says I. And I'm like, airport? I'd only been at the airport a couple of times. So I ended up, we pooled money together and we had to get a taxi because there was no buses running. It was for 9 a.m. So I borrowed my sister's suit. Yeah. It was a Quinn and Donnelly suit that we got in Awear. Do you remember? Yes.
Of course I do.
And it was a lovely outfit, actually. Yeah. Went out, we got a taxi, pooled money together because we had to pay for the taxi. I'd only enough for the bus back into town. So anyway, the taxi driver dropped me off at Dublin Airport where I was to go. And he said to me in a real Dublin accent, which I won't try and imitate, but I love the Dublin accent. He said, hi, he said, sure, you got the job. He said, they wouldn't be bringing you out here on a Sunday morning if they weren't giving you the job. And I went, really? Oh, he said, yeah. And then did the interview, first ever real interview. And it must have been about an hour and a half. There was 3 people interviewing me. I'll never forget it. And and it was quite intense now.
And you got the gig.
So anyway, yes. So when I left, I thought, oh my God, there was 1 gent and 2 girls. And I thought, oh my God, I was so bamboozled because they were all asking me questions. And I was very young, It was my first real job interview. Anyway, I left and I got the bus back into town. I said, I don't know. I really don't know. Do you know? And I remember one of the questions being, why do you want to be an air hostess?
And why did you?
And I said, and I quote myself, because it has been repeated to me by a gentleman in Aer Lingus. I said, well, I always wanted to be a Rose of Tralee. I know. No way. And I said, I think I've missed that boat, even though I was still very young. Yeah. So I said, I'd always wanted to be a Rose of Tralee. And they were like, oh, and I thought,
you've got the gig.
Well, actually, I thought, oh, they probably think, I didn't know what to think, but I wear my heart on my sleeve. So that was, anyway, 6 weeks later, we were all living in this bedsit on Richmond Street, just around the corner from Portobello. It was a house, big, huge house, 3-story house, and they were all bedsits back then. And it was lovely. We all, and the communal phone rang in the hallway, and I was so happy to be there. So I went out and I answered the phone. They said, hello, this is Aer Lingus. Is Marietta Doran there? I was like, oh, speaking. I was like, and she goes, oh, well, could you start training on Monday? Couldn't believe it.
Wow.
It was incredible. To say we celebrated,
I bet.
Like, Nisa, that was a big deal back then.
Of course, that was a huge deal.
Like, we're talking, and it still is a big deal because these are sought after jobs, and these are jobs, these are careers that, I don't know, I always dreamt of it.
One of my best friend's sisters is in Aer Lingus 40 years
like
or something.
One of, if not the best airline in the world.
Oh,
and
I love it so
my
much.
cousins actually worked for Aer Lingus, and when I was very young, I was only about 6, I was in my grandmother's house, and my cousins, one was a pilot, one was an aerostess, and I remember looking at them in their Aer Lingus uniform, and they were, my grandmother was like, oh my God, you look, and I thought, I want to be that.
Well, it's the glamour, right?
It's the glamour.
I think for me, when I'm listening to your story, I'm thinking all the time, I think she just wants to wear the uniform. Did you really want to be doing the air miles, or was it more, I think,
I'm not sure if it was necessarily travel, because I wouldn't have travelled a whole lot. That it
Where
was
were you
actually
flying to? Where were you flying to?
Well, I did all the Irish flights. I did mainline to England, and I did European, and then I did transatlantic as well.
And how long were you doing all that?
So a couple of years, because that'll take us to the next chapter.
Let me get my notes and move swiftly on.
But I loved Aer Lingus, and I'm still really good friends with the people that I worked with there. Oh my goodness, it was fabulous.
But this is the whole thing, because people have lives outside of, people think, oh, you're on television or you do this. There's loads of their lives. People have other careers. I mean, people that have been on the podcast here are also primary school teachers, or they're doing lots of other events, or, other aspects of their facets of their personality are coming through monetary wise as well, which does bolster their media careers. And you are very clever, because you're, obviously you do your Aer Lingus career, but it also transitioned then for you into racing. That's where that came about,
Absolutely.
in terms of you as a fashion, well, I would say, because obviously you always host, Best Dressed, but it's moved away a little bit from that now, racing, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's still the competition of the Best Dressed, which are more than popular than ever.
Yeah.
I was just speaking with Tamz O'Doyle, who I absolutely adore and have so much respect for, who is an integral part of the Irish horse racing industry, Tamzo. And I was just saying the other day, we were just chatting about it, and I said to Tamzo, it's a wonderful community.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got ladies that go racing, and gents, but let's just talk about the women.
Yes,
and
indeed.
I met a lady a few years ago, and she'd never been at the horse racing. She wouldn't have looked at the horse race. She wouldn't know one end of a horse from the other. She goes to the races. She got all dressed up. She met all the other ladies, and 3 years later, she goes racing because there's a camaraderie.
There's a community, isn't there?
There's a community.
Such, yeah.
There's a community. Like, as I was saying to Tamzo, like, maybe we are lucky in that we have a big social circle. Like, my job is social. Like, I'm here with you today. I was telling one of my best friends that I was here at Lisa Cannon. Like, she's such a huge fan of yours. And yes. And Bonnie was like, wow. And, and so we have a good outlet. Like, we're out. I'm just after being, to Taste of Dublin, so some people don't have that, that access to social events, but the horse racing has become that for them. And they go out, they go racing, they go to Galway, they go to the Curragh, they all meet up, they swap ideas about outfits, they swap, hats. So
it's a whole...
Yeah, it's not just about the competition.
It's an ethos. It's a kind of a way of thinking.
Yes, and it's a wonderful social community. And I know them all. I get to know them all, and we talk about our clothes and, where'd you get that? And it's not just about the competition, even though that's an important part. And of course, if you win one of the competitions, I mean, that opens up a whole new area for you.
Well, I've never won any of the... Now, I've judged a little bit, not down to your level.
I know better lady.
I'm supposing when even, you think you can do it, but actually, it's actually hard work, because when I looked at some of the women, only women really, I suppose I have judged, but I was so taken aback at the effort that was put in, because we're talking about sustainability now and things that are reworn or pre-loved. Some women are bringing out beautiful brand new pieces that they've bought or they've, hired, and then they're bringing sentimental pieces with it as well. It might have been, a brooch belonged to their mother, or gloves belonged to their grandmother.
Yeah.
And I found it so hard to choose, because the style is so beautiful.
Yeah, because you think with your heart as well.
Down.
No, I know. And actually,
then there's the hats. That's a whole other
that actually, I am
changer.
I'd be so conscientious. I'd be like you. And I always think and feel with my heart, and I appreciate the effort and the cost that goes into creating these outfits. So it is really hard to pick one over the other.
So how do you do it then?
Well, you just, hand on heart, it's my favourite outfit. And honest to God, I couldn't care who you are or where you're from. It could be high end or high street, borrowed, vintage, grannies from, ancient, whatever. It just is a winning look, and it's my favourite look. And if I was to eliminate everyone I knew, sure, I know the world and Paddy Riley. Do you know what I mean? So I go to the races. So I just judge on my favourite outfit. That's it.
And no bribe. So when I'm in the next one, then I can't bribe you.
No, definitely not.
No, you heard that first.
You know what? I have ladies coming up to me, and I always
joking,
find.
By the way, of
course.
I
know you are. I know you are. And it is.
Bottle of wine, though. Now,
Prosecco. Yeah.
No. But I would never be on that podium. But I know when I see women who are and they want to win, I'm like, oh God, I just want to give it to everybody.
Because everybody looks so well.
Yeah, they do.
But
they really do.
There was a time that when after judging the competition, I'd very discreetly leave the race course because I feel bad bumping into them, the ladies that didn't win or didn't manage to get into the final. Now I don't, because I know that they know that I'm absolutely just straight down the line. Fair. They say, Marietta, you're so fair. You're so fair. And if not today, it could be tomorrow. Yeah. Do you know that kind of thing?
What does it mean to win best dressed?
It's huge. It's huge. I'm just thinking of previous winners of best dressed at the Galway races. Lisa's Lust List. Lisa won it. Fabulous. Lisa McGowan. Yeah. Lisa is a judge, is the celebrity judge. Is it nearly 10 years later? Wow. She is the celebrity judge at the Galway races on Ladies' Day. So how many? One of the biggest Ladies' Day of the year.
How many do we have, Marietta? Because you'll have to count them out for me. We've got the Punchestown.
We had 4 days at Punchestown for the Punchestown Festival, and that was the Bollinger Champagne Best Dressed.
Oh, I want to win one of these. Yeah, go on anyway.
So for 4 days of the Punchestown Festival, from the Tuesday to the Friday, there was a best dressed every day. And it was best dressed.
Best dressed?
Best dressed. Not best dressed lady or not best dressed gent.
Male or female.
It was both. And we had guys, gentlemen, guys, men in the lineup, in the final. And they deserved to be there. You want to see how well they looked.
Oh, you have to send me pictures.
And one of the days, one guy actually won. He won out of the top 5.
I'm really glad to hear that.
I will say, it is hard picking a guy over a lady because we go to so much more trouble.
Well, there's probably the fake eyelashes, there's probably the tan, the nails, the whole shebang.
But if you saw these guys, hat, tie pin, pocket square, cufflinks, canes, shoes, socks, everything, head to toe glamour. You've got to wear something on the head. Be it a lady or gent.
Is that actually?
Yes. Head to toe. It's head to toe glamour. So I love it. Now fast forward. I mean, you'd be hard set now a few years ago to, pick a few best dressed guys. There's always guys that always look very well.
Of course.
And well turned out. But to be able to get into a best dressed competition, that's a different level. And now it's unbelievable. The guys are really putting it up. They really are. They are pulling out all the stops.
Well, I am so glad
and there's so
to hear
much more.
that.
There's so many more of them. Because I used to always get, and this would make me laugh. They'd say, "Oh, it's always about best dressed lady. When is it going to be about the guys?" And I said, "Well, it's only best dressed lady for today. For the other 364 days of the year about the guys." And they'd laugh at that. But now the competitions are opening up.
That's across Punchestown, and then we still have obviously the Galway races, which is great.
Oh
fun.
My God. That is huge.
I mean, it's massive, isn't it?
It's the biggest.
It is the biggest.
Yeah, I would say it's because it's the festival. 7-day festival at the Galway races, Ballybrit. Sure, I've been going since I was knee high. Yeah. My family used to go to the races, and now it's unbelievable. I was the least interested in horses. Like, we used to have ponies when we were younger. My brother and my sister are very good pony riders or horse riders or whatever. I mean, I'm scared to sit up on a horse, even though I'd love lovely trot, as they used to say, but I wouldn't go any faster than that. And now I'm actually working at the races. So there's a great joke at home. They're like, of all the ones that's working at the races.
Well, sometimes that's the way life works.
That's the way, it is. I mean, I know it's fashion, but still I love watching the racing. Well, sorry, I went off track.
No. It's so interesting to hear, because I think sometimes, maybe there's people listening thinking, I like the idea of, going to the Curragh, going wherever, in race day, but maybe it's a bit intimidating. And maybe that's to do with obviously the fascinator and, the whole sense of getting it right with the milliner and the piece that you've to wear. And I mean, honestly, the talent coming out of Ireland in terms of millinery and millinery school is
it's
amazing.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely amazing. Obviously, we have the godfather of it all, Philip Treacy, of course, is global phenomenon. But let's talk about some of the other, new and up and coming, I suppose, milliners that really are making a name for themselves. Just a few. It'd be nice to mention.
Yeah, there's just so many. Edel Ramberg is one of my favourite. I could be here all day.
She's a Galway girl,
She's a Galway girl. Her millinery is just so beautiful. Emily Jean, oh my goodness, she's resident milliner in Kildare Village at the moment, and she is incredible. Her designs and creations are just off the charts. There's so many. There is so many. And, at least it's very hard to FAO Millinery. I wore one of their pieces. Oh my goodness, really cool. It was it was just the most amazing headpiece. I wore it in Punchestown with an outfit by Paul Costello. And actually it was the first wear of that outfit in Ireland. I was so proud, actually. So
we'll talk about Paul in a second, because when I think about millinery, I know that it kind of can be anything. You could have shapes, you could have birds on your head, you can have, the sky's the limit. What's the most outrageous one you've ever seen?
Oh, you see at Galway, there's Mad Hatter's Day on the Sunday, and everybody can take part.
You could wear a clock, a grandfather clock,
well,
if you
wanted to. Well, actually, I think someone had some sort of rabbit or something like that. I've seen the Mad Hatter's Day on the Sunday of the Galway races.
It's mad.
It's mad. That's exactly what it is. Trees. I've seen people arrive with branches and everything, but I know what you're talking about. You're talking about couture millinery, the craziest. I have worn some fine pieces in my time. But as I always say to the milliners, I've only one head. So I can only wear one headpiece, unfortunately. But some fantastic talent. And I must say, if I was to name all the talented milliners in Ireland, and they're great pals.
We'd be still here.
No, we would be. Jennifer's Hat Emporium. I have to mention Jennifer, because nearly all those fabulous milliners are housed in Jennifer's Hat Emporium just outside Kilcullen. You can hire out the hats or you can buy the hats, and she's got the best selection, one of the best selection. And you can access all those milliners there.
Amazing. Well, listen, everybody knows we see you week on week on the Today Show down in Cork. So you're a busy woman up and down with Moore and Dahi. Tell us what's involved in producing and pulling together styling pieces for the show, because it's a great show. It's fast though. You've to make your piece, get in, get out. You've models, you've everybody in between. What's the general rule of thumb?
So I select my brands, and I select the looks, the 6 looks. We always showcase 6 outfits, and then plus my own. So I select the looks. There's always kind of like a theme. One day it could be like wedding guest. We could do Debs. I love dealing with the smart casual, because a lot of ladies, when I work as a personal shopper, a lot of ladies fall down. They can organise the outfit for that dressy event, but when they go to their day-to-day wardrobe, this is where the tears start. Because if you're going out and you're meeting the girls for lunch, it's not necessarily a hat and a fancy outfit.
Yeah, it's the regular.
But you want to look nice. So this is where a lot of ladies, that's where they need their help, and that's what I like to concentrate on for the RT Today Show. Your day-to-day. That can be worn special. So if you've got maybe a First Holy Communion or something special or a birthday, you can wear the outfit to that. And then we can wear it more casually, because I love to see women get wear out of their outfits that they buy. It's so important. The way we used to think years ago, I'm going to leave that now for a special occasion.
Yeah, yes, of course.
I'm like this. It's like, when you're putting the bottle of champagne away and that's for a special occasion. My whole thing is, my mantra is every day is a special occasion now. So if you have something nice in your wardrobe, stop saving it.
Just wear it.
Wear it. And you know what? Enjoy it. And when we look good and feel good, we're in better form. It gives us a great kick when we're all dressed up and we look nice.
Yeah,
I feel there's definitely a benefit to dressing up and looking well. It gives you that extra confidence and it makes you feel happier. And if someone says, "Oh, Lisa, I love your beautiful jacket and you look great." "Oh, thank you very much."
Yeah. Well, it's as I've got older, I've accepted the compliments more.
Yes.
Because I kind of go, "Oh, no, don't, and I'm this, and no, don't talk to me about it." Or I'm, I put on weight, or I've lost weight. I think it's harder, isn't it, for you to just take those compliments. But now I do feel I'm like, thank you, actually, because,
yes,
why not? Be nice to yourself, be kind to yourself.
Also,
are you finding that as well?
Yes, I find that as well. But I if someone says, "Marietta, you look very nice," or "That's a lovely outfit," I always go, "Oh, thanks very much. It's very nice to say it." And then straight away I'll be like, "Oh, well, I got
this in I was only 10 or it was I know.
I mean, it's so funny. But yes, someone pays a compliment. My mother always used to say to me, if someone says you look nice, just say thank you. It's polite, and we are as women, we are kind of a little bit hard on ourselves. We can be hard on ourselves. So now, you know what? I live my life in colour. This is my mantra. Ever since COVID, I just go, I live my life in colour. So hence colour.
Colour, I love
And actually this ingenue jumpsuit.
Yeah. Very cool, by the way.
I've known these ladies for years. They are the most fabulous ladies. They had Chica Boutique in the Westbury Mall, and then Mina went to London. Hi, Mina. And she created this wonderful brand, Ingenue, and they've been sending me bits over the years, and I love wearing them. And their mantra is living life in colour. You won't see anything in black from their collections. It's all colour.
What about your daughter? Has she, garnered any of these clothes? Or
she loves her style.
Got
she's
into style.
Totally different to me. Like her look is very cool. No, and I'm not saying I'm
that's
cool.
That's kind of saying that you're not cool.
No, that's wrong. No. Her look is really avant-garde.
Okay, avant-garde.
Yeah, avant-garde.
Oh, that's a good way to describe it.
Like she's like it's very high end. And I'm like, she just looks gorgeous. And she's such a lovely girl. And she's 24, Mia. I always love the name Mia because I just love Mia Farrow. I love Bullets Over Broadway.
Right.
And actually when she was born, I looked at her and I thought, you know what, Mia, because it's kind of a smaller version of Marietta.
So, of course, Marietta, there's fashion weeks. I've been to them all myself. The Paris, the Londons, they're great. And, it can sound, intimidating when people say, "Oh, I've been at fashion week." But actually, there's a lot of behind the scenes nonsense that goes on. Like, if you break it down, they're actually good fun. They're not crazy or anything.
Absolutely. And they're all just like ourselves.
Yeah.
They're earning a living. They're professionals. They're trying to make it in the grand old world of fashion.
Well, tell us now, what are they like, fashion weeks?
Oh, I love them. I get a great buzz out of them. I really do. And actually, I always feel like I learn. I'm always inspired. You think you know it all. Well, actually, I don't believe I know it all. I'm always learning. I'm such a sponge. I'm always open to new ideas. And I love taking inspiration from what they wear to the fashion weeks. Never mind what they're wearing front row.
What was your favourites, like, of them all? Because I know you mentioned Paul Costello there and you had a great time with Paul.
Paul Costello, I go to his show in London every year.
Oh.
The last show that I was at was back in February. I thought he had done everything amazing. I thought there's no place for Paul Costello to go. He's gone through the ceiling. He's up in space. But my goodness, that show was exquisite. Myself and my daughter Mia went and we sat there and our jaws dropped.
On the floor.
Every single outfit that came out, I was like, oh, I'd love that. Oh, I'd love that. I have all the videos still. I can't delete the videos. And actually, I said to Paul afterwards, I said, Paul, I thought you had showcased it all. But
well, he's a giant of the Irish.
He's only tipping the iceberg
industry,
from his choice of fabrics, Lisa, the tweeds. He had Irish music playing. It was in the Waldorf. It was Absolutely. You could hear a pin drop and the place was packed.
It's the brand that will live on forever,
yes,
I believe.
Yes.
But the fashion weeks, you mentioned Sydney, you've obviously gone to Paris. So what is it about Fashion Week? Because again, I think people find them maybe intimidating, but they maybe should be,
Intimidating? No. I feel inspired. And remember, if you're feeling intimidated, everybody you meet, they're feeling it too. So you have to kind of put yourself into other people's shoes, and just enjoy it. Take inspiration. I take notes. I take photographs. I adore watching what they're wearing to the shows. I love fashion on the street, style on the street style. New York, wow. Paris, next level. I would say if I was to choose one city that I would love to live in the world, and I spoke fluent French, it would be Paris.
Really?
Oh, it's a fabulous city.
I love Paris,
and the way they wear clothes. Wow. Milan, I've done Milan Fashion Week. I love Milan. They'll say, oh my God, Lake Garda. Milan is a bit industrialized. Go to the other. I love Milan because I love that city feel. And I'm looking around going, look at that outfit. I love looking at what women wear day to day and how the Italians, no matter what they wear, they could just be wearing an anorak and a pair of jeans and a pair of runners, but they always look stylish.
Let's talk about motherhood and how that's shaped your kind of creativity and also your day to day. I mean, I know your daughter's in her 20s now, so things are a little bit different than my stage in life.
Congratulations on your lovely cherub.
Thank you. Because obviously I'm in the middle of, toddlerhood. But for you, coming to this stage in your life, with your daughter in her mid-20s, how does it make you approach fashion and life?
Well, firstly, you know what, Lisa? I feel so incredibly grateful.
Yeah.
I genuinely feel so grateful. I feel very proud. I feel so proud. I mean, years ago, I'm like Martin Luther King. I had a dream. I really did have a dream. I wanted to do all these great things. And then Mia came along and I thought, how will I do this? Just
balancing,
myself, balancing it all.
TV and everything.
And I did, with great support from my parents. I will absolutely say that. And we did it together. And now we're going to fashion shows together. And it feels really good. And I know that I'm so proud. I'm so proud of her. And I know she's so proud of me. And I feel blessed. A child is a blessing. And my grandmother used to always say, you only need the one, which I'm so grateful for. Now, she had 11, but it is true.
Finally, Marietta, your future endeavours, what's to come? Just a little bit on what's to come for you, or what would you like to happen?
I thought after COVID, was my career in fashion and television, had it come to an end because I turned 50 just before Christmas and I thought, am I getting old? I didn't mind. I started again after the recession, which hit us all really badly, but at least during the recession we could work. COVID really affected my business and my brand because we couldn't work. So I just thought after it, will I start all over again? Will I change? But I'm never give up, and actually I read a great quote that said, just think about it. Now you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience.
Oh,
so
good.
I feel now that I'm only getting started.
Well, did you hear that?
Yes, I promise you. I'm only getting started. And I'm so grateful to be here and to be sitting with you
lovely.
After all these years.
I know, it's a long time.
It's come full circle, Lisa.
It's come full circle.
That's
and you know what? We've chatted for over half an hour. It's been absolutely joyous to hear all of what's been happening with you and how, your broadcasting career started and everything in between. It's been fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Thanks.